Hey, everybody, and welcome to this very special episode of the Thoughtium Navigating Now Virtual Roundtable Series. This is episode 200, a huge milestone for not only us as an organization, but also our broader community. As always, I'm Anthony Ewing, CEO, co-founder here at Thoughtium, and I am joined by my two business partners, Norm Ralph, Griff Krenbrink, both just a big part of the growth of Thoughtium and also the growth of the Navigating Now platform. This is a moment to celebrate, an opportunity to pause and look back. So welcome, gentlemen.
Good to be here. Fantastic. Yeah. 200, that's not a small number.
It definitely is not. Yeah, we've always kind of deployed this one is greater than zero approach, and
200 is definitely
200 is definitely greater than zero, absolutely. But it took that public before perfect mentality for this platform to really grow to become what it is, which is still imperfect, and that's what we love about it. So today we're going to be taking a look back. We're going to be talking about the future or the past of this great platform and how it's evolved over the years. We'll be talking a little bit about what this platform means to us as a community and to the growth of Thoughtium, and we'll be looking forward. What might Navigating Now have in store over the next 200 episodes? So in prime fashion, we're in the middle of a leadership meeting here in Cincinnati. We had about 7 minutes to set up for this episode, and I couldn't be more thrilled to really pause and share this space with you, Griff, and you, Norm. So
also physically, like we're in the middle of a hallway.
Yeah, we are.
So,
which
middle
is
of a lot of things.
So on brand for Navigating Now. Like we will set up and go live from anywhere if it means reaching you all with perspectives that matter most, and that's what makes this thrilling for some, nerve-wracking for others. Awesome. So Norm, I want to maybe start with you. You've been a part of Thoughtium since really the beginning, and you've also seen the evolution of the Navigating Now platform. Take us through that evolution, and also maybe start with what's your favorite episode of Navigating Now?
Well, I'll say just even the creative confidence for how we're producing this episode, to me, again, is reflective of where it's come. So even if I look back 5 or 6 years ago, the way that we were approaching either audio or visual type content, it was highly scripted. It felt like the pressure was really high. And we started to realize there was a real opportunity to share perspective and not have it be so produced. And so to us, the commitment of consistency, as you mentioned, kind of the one is greater than zero, but also just the creative confidence, the ability to say, like, let's hit record. Let's get a chance to share real-time perspectives as to what's going on. So if I look back and we had a chance to even look at some of the early episodes, and it's wild to think, again, like where we started. But for us, what it was creating space, an opportunity of everybody was going through change. And we weren't certain where this platform was going, but we knew we had an opportunity to create dialogue.
This was the beginning of the pandemic, essentially.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And so those early episodes, I remember, very vividly having leaders like Dave Hogue, the CIO at Options Clearing Corp. We had Wei Li, the president at Omada, really having an opportunity to share what were they going through as they were leading their organizations through change. And the work that we do is typically change is sitting at the center of our business. And oftentimes we're working with leaders to figure out, like, how do we chart that next course? And for us, it was really interesting. And for me personally, reflective of these leaders saying, like, they didn't have the answers.
Yeah.
And so maybe for me, the first time realizing that it's okay to not have the answers. And so for them, leading in change meant increasing frequency of communication. It meant being okay that they didn't know how to forecast 6, 12, 18 months. It was like, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
Like, let's actually get in a room and solve together. So I think, again, it was very formative for me to hear their leadership perspective say, in this change, I don't know, and that's okay. And the way that I'm going to lead is going to look different than it did 6, 12 months ago. So again, I think that to me, again, that was the beginning formative piece for where Navigating Now started.
And it wasn't that. It brings me back to such a. It was a very intense time, right? For business leaders, there was a lot of uncertainty. We definitely had the livelihood and the well-being of our employees at the forefront of our decision making. And I look back, and there was also a sense of maybe excitement that it was a moment for leadership to really rise and explore or meet the moment in ways that we've never had to before, which for us meant perpetuating perspective and getting that leadership perspective out there, I always say that, you sometimes start a business to do all the things that you wanted to do within a large organization, but you weren't able to due to the red tape.
Yep.
Spinning up a live show in the middle of the pandemic where we were able to bring leaders in is just one of those things that we wouldn't be able to do as part of a large organization due to regulations and red tape.
Yep.
And today we're able to do that. And that's really the spirit of Navigating Now, including setting up in a hallway for our 200th episode. So Norm, what's your favorite episode?
So my favorite episode, honestly, is the LinkedIn report, which comes out every year, and we get a chance to geek out on it. We're all professionals who love the learning and leadership space. It's also a really nice intersection for us to have some thought leadership and some input on, the programs that we're setting up and even working with leaders to set their 2 to 3 year people strategy. As we know, people sits at the center of everybody's business. And sometimes they can be seen as maybe a support team or part of an enterprise capability. And it's often a lean team. And they may not have maybe the experience or the skills to say, like, what does a more progressive approach? How do I not just use the same playbook that we've been using year after year? And what's going to help leaders meet the moment? Because the skills that were needed 2 to 3 years ago look a lot different than it does in today's business environment. So what I love is we get a chance to share like our insights from what we're hearing from LinkedIn, what that might mean for us in our organization, but how do we work with our partners to really make a more progressive, high impact program that's really going to meet them where they're at.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, the look back is a real one because, episode 1 of this, progressive dialogue not only like looked and felt different just because, we were really low fidelity. We didn't have the technology and all of that. But the discussion was different. And that's what's so great about going live every week is that we're able to adapt based on the discussion of the year, the month, and maybe even the week. And that's something that we've been really excited about. So Norm, thank you for being such a big part of Navigating Now, the journey. And also I know that, you've stretched yourself in some ways stepping into this platform. And we're just thrilled to have you a part of it for years to come. So thank you.
Love being a part of it. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. All right. So we are here celebrating the 200th episode of the Navigating Now Virtual Roundtable Series. Such an exciting time. And I've got 2 very exciting leaders alongside of me to help celebrate. I want to bring it over to you, Grift. Grift, could you ever imagine that you'd be sitting in the center of your hometown in front of a cell phone broadcasting to your LinkedIn network, on such a day like today?
Not in my wildest dreams. I'll also say maybe I'll plug. We'll add a couple more microphones in our operating budget for 2025. But no, I think again, maybe to just share a little bit and build on what Norm shared in terms of what I think is so amazing about this platform. A lot of companies have like pretty solid vision. A lot of companies have pretty clear values. I think this is a testament to us having an amazing voice. And very, very, very few organizations, I think, realize the power of having a consistent voice in the marketplace. And that voice is a combination, not just of maybe your most senior leaders, but a chance for every single person in your organization to be a part of that voice. And I think that's what excites me and has excited me about Navigating Now from the very beginning is it is a true testament to the voice of Thoughtium.
I love that. Yeah. Vision, values, and voice. You always come with the analogies and the groups of 3. We can always count on Griff for that. Griff, as you think about Navigating Now and the role that it plays in both the growth of Thoughtium today and even the role that it might play in the community, what maybe comes front of mind?
Yeah. I think a couple of things. So one is, the number 200 is not, we joked about it. It's not a small number, but I think it's a testament to the discipline that we try to exhibit every day in the work we do. And when you think about working with Thoughtium, you think about a consistent, disciplined presence that does what it says it's going to do as an organization. And I think, again, recognizing the power of this platform is not the number of views that a video gets or maybe the stretch or the awareness that it even generates. I think the power of the platform says that, hey, here's an organization that sets out to do something and they are going to do it and they are going to show up consistently.
Love it.
With all that said, I do think it is good for us to think about what is the impact, what is the ROI of all this time we spend, delving into curiosity about things we care about. Yeah. And I think a big, powerful contribution that this platform has for us is in the way that it does attract people that are interested in pushing themselves, pushing their boundaries. They want to demonstrate and maybe lean into their own curiosity. And you can count on coming to Navigating Now and seeing curiosity happen in real time. And I do believe, I firmly believe, whether or not we have all the data in the world to back it up, I do believe that this platform, when people get a chance to experience it, they see that Thoughtium is a curiosity enriched, very like thoughtful place, full of thoughtful individuals. And I think that helps us in recruitment. That helps us in conversations. We can send pretty much any one of our 200 episodes to any client or prospect to show them the things that we care about and we talk about in real time. So
I love that. Great perspective. Favorite episode?
So I'm gonna go selfish, and I'm also gonna share a little bit of why I think it's selfish is good in this case. So my favorite episode was when I got a chance to interview my late uncle, Pete Rupert. Guy that I respect pretty much the most in the entire world for just his ability to step into the arena and the way that he showed up in his career, the way he showed up in his community, the way he showed up for his family. Someone that I just have tried to emulate as much as I possibly can in the way that I live my life, and to be able to have an hour on tape of just hearing him talk about his life and the way he's gone through trials and risks and failures was truly the stuff of my own dreams. And I think maybe to build on that selfishness a little bit, I think that's what I love about the platform, though, is we have the chance for every single person in our organization to be a little selfish and to talk a little bit about what are the things that we want to have open discussions about in the public forum. What are the things that we're working through as an organization that we know other organizations are working through, and we're happy to air a bit of our dirty laundry. I think that in a way, selfishness has fueled this program, this platform and this program. But I mean that in the best way. The selfishness is generally a selfishness of curiosity and wanting to go deeper.
I love that, and we just so appreciate you bringing up that great memory of being able to commemorate, Pete and his practitionership at the moment, and to have that content for the rest of your life is really special. So. We appreciate you sharing, and Grift, as always, thank you for being a part of the perspective. Some of my favorite episodes have been when you and I have been on, and we've just been able to really express our passion and our excitement for the overall learning experience, or any topic at hand. This platform has been such a great demonstration of our respective practitionership, and hopefully that's allowed our community to engage in it in a way that they can really geek out with us. And those have been some of my favorite episodes. I'll round us out by talking a little bit about, where we see this platform headed. And one of the most kind of awe-inspiring aspects of this platform for me has been the consistency. And both Norm and Grift have talked about it. Navigating Now is probably the truest expression of the consistency with which Thoughtium wants to engage with our community and our clients. And it is at a rate and a rigor that we feel very proud is a cut above anybody else that we're seeing doing it. And there's some real pride in that consistency. And, at times we even joke about how we hold ourselves to such a bar of going live every Thursday to our community, but it means that it matters to us. It means that it's a big priority. 8 years ago, I stepped in front of a camera for the first time for episode 1. This was prior to even Navigating Now. And I was in the back conference room of our first client. They had, trusted me over the weekend to shoot some content in their conference room. And it took me a day and a half of filming to get to a 20-minute piece of content to send out to our community, and a whole bunch of post-production. Fast forward 8 years later, it is now not just me, it's an entire community. We have leaders left and right from both our client network and our extended community really driving the conversation. And we're doing it in a live fashion. And we're doing it consistently week over week. And so when we talk about where this platform is headed, I am so proud to say more of the same, right? Is kind of our starting point. We are so passionate about keeping this consistent for the next 200 episodes. And at the same time, we have our ear to the wall in terms of what's happening in the marketplace. And we get really good feedback about bringing certain themes forward in leadership, particularly around culture and change. And the third one, which I will talk a little bit more about, which is the process of how we've built Thoughtium. This has been such a great platform for us to document the process of building an organization. And we are now a part of a broad network of startups, folks that aspire to build businesses, and even entrepreneurs within large organizations that want to bring a little bit more of that entrepreneurial spirit, that are looking for us to demonstrate and to bring the process forward, to kind of lift the curtain, if you will, a little bit to the backbone that we're building here at Thoughtium and how it's being built, including creating content and doing it extemporaneously. And so we look forward to more documenting the process and sharing what a growing commercial organization in Thoughtium looks and feels like, and some of the tools that we're bringing. We look forward to bringing more of our people forward. That's one of the awesome byproducts of maybe the last 50 episodes, is that less than half have been moderated by yours truly. And as much as I love this seat week over week, one thing that I love more is to see others jump in. Nicole Deal, who has been the face of our hot takes, and Ashani, who has brought a few really great leaders to the table. This is now a burning platform for the entire Thoughtium team. And we're just so proud in the future now to bringing more and more of our folks, our teammates, to the forefront of this perspective. So all of that is to say that you can continue to look to count on us to show up, every Thursday, as Grift mentioned, to drive curiosity in ways that might pique your interest or might help you go to your organization with big ideas. And also to document the journey of building this really exciting organization in Thoughtium. So,
can I add to that?
Yeah,
I think someone once said this to me, and it always kind of stuck. Like, true pride comes from the dedicated pursuit of something that matters a lot to you. And I feel like that's what's great about Thoughtium more generally, and what's great about this platform is that this is truly us dedicating to a pursuit towards something that really matters to us. And hopefully that comes across in the way that all of these episodes are experienced.
Yep.
And again, another thing that's always true is how you do anything is how you do everything. And if there's one thing that's true about Thoughtium, hopefully, again, we're experiencing the same kind of dedication that we put into this platform you experience in the way you work with us, the way you experience us in the community.
I love that. Any closing words, Norm?
Yeah, top that though.
It's tough to top. What I will say is just on your comment about documenting the journey, it's so easy in today's busy environment to just continue to put one foot in front of the next. And what we've been able to do is to create perspective. These guys always get a good laugh and a joke that I love to look back. And to me, whether that's part of an MBR, a monthly business review, quarterly, annually, or just celebrating somebody's growth, like really having an opportunity to build some texture or color to that journey. And it's often nonlinear. Like, a lot of times we may not have all of the plans, but you look back and it's like, look what I've been able to accomplish in 6 months, in 12 months, in 18 months. And so we've had the ability to do that because we've been documenting the journey since the beginning. And again, it's so interesting to see the different paths or inflection points that we had. And so I would just recommend for anybody, as you're going through, again, like this growth process or change process, to be able to like create some perspective, to maybe widen the aperture. And don't underestimate what you can do in a year, because again, it's really incredible to get a chance to savor some of those moments.
Yeah, I love that. Some great perspective here for our 200th episode. Before we close things up, we do want to extend a couple of really special thank yous and shout outs. We get to go live every week because we have an entire team behind this platform. And I don't mean like an entire production team. I mean, we have everybody in our team involved. A bunch of moonlighters is right. But two folks in particular that I just want to extend a very special thank you to. First and foremost, our head of design, Molly Sutherland. She has just been such a catalyst to making sure that we can do this on a week-by-week basis, and that we're coming through clear with our messaging. She's just been a huge support and a driving growth factor for Navigating Now. Also, Amanda Lobo, who week over week is building this pipeline. It is not easy to go live every Thursday and to have like real leadership at the table every Thursday. And Amanda is essentially driving that pipeline of thought leadership. And we want to thank you, Amanda, for being such a big part of ensuring that the perspective is valuable, it's unique, and it's week over week. We also want to thank our partners at Build You. we have, over the course of the last year, invested in a partnership that allows us to take these episodes that we go live every week and chop them up into several shorts that allow our perspective to come through in bite-sized, snackable pieces of content. And BuildU has not only done that tactically, but they have fully gotten behind our vision of creating the space via Navigating Now. And we're just thrilled to be working with them for years to come. Lastly, we want to thank you all, our community. Gosh, when this started, it was probably, my mom and your mom and a handful of our friends tuning in, via Facebook or YouTube. But we particularly now have a great community within LinkedIn. And we hear, week over week, folks saying, hey, we saw you on LinkedIn and I tuned in and it was just a great conversation, or I took a couple things away from that, or gosh, you all are doing some exciting things. Tell us more about what you're doing at Thoughtium. That feedback, it so matters. It's the lifeline of us doing this every week. And we want to thank all of you who have been consistently, a part of our viewership, or for those folks who might just dip in and out, whether that's for the live feed or for our snackables. So to our LinkedIn community, our IG community, thank you so much. We so look forward to many, many more episodes. Why don't we do another 200? And maybe next time, we won't have to shove ourselves in a hallway, but that's what makes this so fun. So for you all tuning in, thank you for joining this 200th episode of the Thoughtium Navigating Now virtual roundtable series. We hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week. And I am so excited to say we will be here next Thursday, 3:00, our regularly scheduled time. We'll see you all then. Thank you.